This just happened and it's becoming the #1 topic among fans. Brandon Beane is about to sign a player no one expected. Tell me, it's going to be fire. Just when you thought the Buffalo Bills were done dealing with the Chicago Bears, think again. After the blockbuster signing of DJ Moore, which finally gave Josh Allen a true #1 winner, the Buffalo Bills may not be finished. In fact, NFL draft analyst Chad Reuter predicts something even bolder. The Bills moving up again in the draft, and once more with the Chicago Bears, to secure wide receiver KC Concepcion from Texas A&M. And this is where things get interesting. Reportedly, Buffalo would be willing to give back the 5th-round pick they received in the DJ Moore trade just to move up one position in the draft. That alone says it all. The Bills are eyeing Concepcion specifically and don't want to risk losing him. Why? Because he fits perfectly into what this offense needs. Last season, Concepcion had an explosive performance with 61 receptions, 919 yards, and 9 touchdowns. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. He's a versatile weapon, capable of playing wide, inside, and even contributing in special moments. At 6 feet 3 inches, criticized the DJ Moore trade, considering it an overpayment, especially considering that the trade gave up a 2nd-round pick and committed approximately $40 million in guarantees. One executive even stated that Moore would have been waived anyway, and this raises a serious question. Are the Bills building a dynamic receiving core, or are they forcing changes out of desperation? Because Moore, although he had 50 receptions for 682 yards and 6 touchdowns last season, critics argue that he can't consistently stretch the field, something Buffalo still lacks. Now imagine adding Concepcion to that mix. A player with excellence, he has potential, but he's not a perfect prospect. So here's the real story. Buffalo isn't just adding talent, it's reinforcing a vision. And if that gamble fails, it won't just affect the offense, it will expose deeper problems throughout the roster, especially the defense. And that leads us directly to the next urgent problem the Bills must address. The Buffalo Bills had a clear defensive target when they entered free agency, linebacker Leo Chenal. He was an ideal fit, familiar with the system, aligned with new defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard, and exactly the kind of physical presence Buffalo needed. But then, everything changed. Chenal signed with the Washington Commanders, and just like that, the Bills were in trouble. Now, the front office faces a crucial decision, one that could define the strength of their defense in 2026. 2 names have emerged as the top Plan B options, Bobby Okereke and Jermaine Pratt. Let's start with Okereke. He might be a more interesting option, not just because of his performance, but also because of familiarity. He previously worked with the Bills linebackers coach John Egorugwu during their time with the New York Giants. That connection is important. On the field, Okereke has been a tackling machine. In recent seasons, he has averaged over 128 tackles per year, with solid contributions in coverage, including interceptions and passes defended. At 6 feet 4 inches and 222 pounds, he brings size, experience, and physical strength, exactly what Buffalo needs to address one of its biggest weaknesses from last season, stopping the running game. But there's a catch. His performance in 2025 dipped somewhat, primarily due to a back injury. So the question is, are the Bills signing a proven leader or a player in decline? Now enter Jermaine Pratt. A veteran and consistent player, Pratt recorded 101 tackles in 2025 with the Indianapolis Colts, in addition to turnovers and impact plays. Over the last 3 seasons, he has consistently posted high numbers of tackles and quarterback negatives. However, his recent travel raises concerns. He was quickly released by the Raiders and had to rebuild his value in Indianapolis. This makes him a lower-risk financial option, but also a risky bet in terms of long-term reliability. And this is where things get even more interesting. Bills general manager Brandon Beane has already realized that a team can wait until after the draft to make a signing. This strategy can save money, but it's also risky, because at this moment, Buffalo's linebacker roster is dangerously depleted. Starting the season with only Terrell Bernard and Dorian Williams as confidential options, that's a recipe for disaster. Therefore, the Bills are playing a dangerous game. Wait for the right price, or risk going into 2026 with a major defensive deficiency. And what if this gamble doesn't pay off? That could put even more pressure on a unit that is already undergoing a discreet but very important transformation. And that brings us to a move that's going unnoticed, but that could shape Josh Allen's defense. While everyone is focused on the big trades, the criticism of the offense, and the urgency of the defense, the Buffalo Bills may have made one of the smartest and least talked about moves of the entire offseason. Without fanfare, without explosive headlines, a franchise signed veteran experimental lineman Austin Corbett to a 1-year contract valued at approximately $1.3 million. And that's exactly where the danger lies, or rather, an opportunity. Because at first glance, this signing seems like just another depth piece, an experienced name to fill out the roster. Nothing exciting, but those who follow the game closely know this type of move has been done before, and very well. A few years ago, Buffalo did something practically identical by bringing in David Edwards, a player coming off injuries, with a low cost and few external expectations. The result? He not only gained playing time, but became a fundamental piece on the forward line, helping to stabilize Josh Allen's protection. Now, the script may be repeating itself, and perhaps with even more impact. Austin Corbett is no ordinary player. We're talking about a Super Bowl champion with no less than 78 career starts, an athlete who has already proven his worth at the highest level of the NFL. But just like Edwards in the past, Corbett arrives surrounded surrounded by doubts. In the last 2 seasons, he has had a complicated series of injuries, including torn ligaments in his knee, ACL, and MCL, and other physical problems that limited his playing time. This caused his market value to plummet. And it was precisely at this moment that the Buffalo Bills entered the scene. Because the plan here is clear: bet low to win big. There's one detail that completely changes this story. When he's 100% healthy, Corbett is considered a solid starting level guard capable of facing physical defensive lines and efficiently protecting the pocket. Now, with Edwards leaving for a massive 4-year, $61 million contract with the New Orleans Saints, the left guard position is officially open. And that changes everything. We're not talking about a backup fighting for snaps. We're talking about real competition for a starting position on one of the league's most explosive offenses. On one side, Alec Anderson, younger, with knowledge of the system and a certain advantage due to continuity. On the other, Corbett, more experienced, playoff-tested, and with a history of high performance. And there's another factor that makes it even more interesting. Corbett and Edwards were already teammates on the offensive line with the Los Angeles Rams during their Super Bowl run. In other words, he not only knows the level required, but he's already experienced exactly the kind of responsibility Buffalo needs now. After all these bold plays, risky bets, and unfilled gaps, here's the question every Bills fan should be asking right now. Are the Buffalo Bills really building a stronger, more complete team around Josh Allen for 2026? Or are these aggressive decisions masking deeper problems that could affect the season? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Buffalo Bills news.